Hey, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. This is episode 36 of season 3. So, if you really like what you've been seeing, please drop me a line and let me know, or leave a comment on my YouTube channel, Javier in the Air, or any other way you know how to get a hold of me. So, this is going to be a really good episode, so I hope y'all are ready. And we are going to show. Part two of the breweries that Brother Rob and I went on last week as a pre warm up, if you will, for the pumpkin beer drinking that we will be doing next weekend, October 8th. So I will update everybody on that next week, along with what's going on and everything. And I've been doing a lot of stuff to get ready for it, getting the house ready for it. This episode also going to have Trashy Hood, week 11, picking up trash. Been getting some great feedback on Nextdoor and on here about it. What are my motivations? Why am I doing it? Thank you for doing it, and that sort of thing. So I'll talk a little bit more about that with the update of the pictures of the days that I got out and walked. And then there will be a Zen Moment, and I think that's probably going to be it because I'm going to run out of time. I like to keep these less than 40 minutes. And so I noticed that if I go longer than that, I lose a lot of people. So let's see if I can keep it under 40 minutes today. So let's just go right ahead and go straight to Trashy Hood. There we go. Javier in the Air presents Trash in the Hood, week 11. Okay, so here we are, week 11. This is day 1, or the first day of the week, actually, so the numbers don't correspond to the number of times that I'm out walking. So here you see the cigarettes in the bottom left corner. I put them in this handy little container that I found. I found an ice pack, water bottles. There's a large diving school type sign as well that's underneath all that, and then the various bits of plastic and road rubber and all sorts of weirdness. Day 2 found me on another route. Cigarette butts, of course, always. Water bottles, pieces of rubber, plastic, beverage tops, a clothespin, some string, whatever that orange round rubber thing is. I don't know. It probably belonged to a like an air fryer, maybe not an air fryer, but Instant Pot or something like that. It was very weird. And then just junk. So various junks all the way around. So then I didn't make it Wednesday. So day 4 found me with a pack of smokes, juice box, beer can, water bottle, various water bottle tops, other tops, various bits of metal and plastic, and a piece of terracotta pot or something at the top left. Very interesting. And then just overall weirdness. And then on top of that, I had enough cigarette butts that I just put it in a separate picture that I posted on Nextdoor with it. So there you see, there's some parliaments and a couple of parliaments. So very interesting, the cigarette butts that I found on day 4. This was day 6, my Java walk. So you see the cigarette butts. Water bottle, a pack of Winstons. I didn't even know they sold Winstons anymore, so that was interesting. A reflector part that came off from some piece of the road, straws, used and unused, bits of tissue, and all that. So it was a very interesting but average, normal amount of trash that I found for week 11. And there you go. And there you have it, week 11. So, for those of you who may not know, well, first of all, and I forgot, for those of you who may be watching this for the first time, welcome. Welcome to Javier in the Air. A show that brings you just about everything that's not new, that's not political, and that's not religious in nature. So, I cover just about everything else. And so that was Trash in the Hood. So what I've been doing for the past 11 weeks, yes, it's been 11 weeks, is walking 3 to 5, sometimes 6 days a week, picking up trash around my neighborhood. I get a lot of questions as to why I'm doing that. And really, the reality is that, one, someone has to do it. 2, I know there's other people that do it, but I find as much trash as probably they do. So and I like to have a clean neighborhood. I like to walk along the streets and not see anything. Unfortunately, I do. So that means that I'm picking up the trash so that at least maybe the people behind me in other days of the week or other times of day get to see a nice neighborhood that they're walking through, because this really is a nice neighborhood, all the streets that I go around. So I'd like to just make it clean for as many people as I can. And finally, why not? Why not pick up some trash? At first, I was doing it just picking up little cigarette butts and some larger pieces of trash, and then I really got involved and decided to get a grabber, so that I can make sure I don't get anything on my hands or don't get, you know, chances of some sort of picking up some sort of nastiness. So I pick it all. I pick up as much as I can. I walk anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour per time. I go on various routes all over the place. Of course, I got to start from my house. So someone asked me the other day, "Well, do you start at different places?" No, I start from my house. I just walk out and I go and I do it. And other people asked, how do they start? Well, you just start. You just do it. Wear gloves, gardening gloves or latex gloves or both. Maybe if you have a grabber for something else and it's old and you want to reuse it, reuse it. But really, I shouldn't say bottom line, because that's another section that won't be on this week. But the reality is that if you want to do something to help out your neighborhood and you want to have things look nice, not just in your yard but in other places, you have friends, you have family that visit, and you want things to be presentable and nice in your house. Why not extend that to your yard, and why not extend that to the rest of the neighborhood? So you can't take care of other people's yards, nor am I asking you to, but you can, when you have time, if you have time, and you're wandering around the streets of your neighborhood, not just my neighborhood. If you live somewhere else that's not close to me, and you by all means you want to do it, by all means do it. But in the long run, it helps out everyone. So why not? It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. It makes everyone feel good. So who doesn't like to walk down a nice, clean street, or see a nice, clean neighborhood? So there you go with that. So we're going to go ahead and go straight into projects. I have a little video I want to show you, and then I'll wrap up on the project. So here we go. Okay, so here's continuation of the cobblestone, stepping stone, hove henge, however you want to call it. Currently, all these are in plastic bags, which are eco-friendly from what they told me when I bought it. I'm sure there's some blowback on this, because I'm sure they're not as eco-friendly as they say, but here's what we got. There's these open sections right here. You see that one over there, and this one right here is complete. Where am I? Oh, right here is complete. So maybe another 2 bags of concrete, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then I can start on these long snake-like sections. So that's the hove henge project. Now I wanted to give you an update on the loofah. See the loofah here. So this loofah, by the way, here's my hand span, and it's 1, 2, almost 3 hand spans of this finger to my thumb, which is about 7 inches, 8 inches, so it's about 24 inches. And I have a bunch more growing, and you can see some in there. Now this is how they look when they first start growing. You have the bloom, and then from the bloom it starts this green bean looking thing, and then as it starts to grow, it starts to balloon up in size. That's a good one. There's some more on the ground, and what I found out is that they like to hang. So I'm gonna have to probably redesign this lattice again for it. But here's a cool one. That's a curly Q. So that one's cool. As you can see, some of these vines are already dead, so I need to do some pruning this weekend. But those are the loofahs. There you go. So the hop-henge has taken on a life of its own. As many people have told me, and I have admitted, rightfully so, I definitely bit off more than I can chew, than I should chew, on hop-henge, so which is why I added the snake parts, which you'll see what happens with those once I finish the project. So yeah, so I found out my handspan measured is about 8 inches from fingertip to the end of my thumb. So this finger and the end of my thumb is about 8 inches. So those loofah that are out there, which I have more than one, are approximately 24 inches long. So they're huge. The first ones that I were getting were between 12 and 16 inches, and I thought that was already a big thing. These things are huge, and they're as thick as a baseball bat. So it's very interesting to see. I will be plucking those. They may be available at the Be the Light Craft Fair. They're certainly available now. So if anybody wants to pre-order, just let me know. The larger ones are probably going to be $12. The smaller ones are 6 and 7. So I will have different prices for them depending on the size. And for those of you who didn't know, loofahs are actually a plant. They're not a sea creature like a lot of people thought, like a sea cucumber or something like that, a sea sponge. They are not. They are actually plants. And I got this idea almost 2 years ago from a gentleman on YouTube who was planting them in Australia. And he said the climate that he was growing, he has many well, he has a large field of loofah, let's put it that way. And his thing was he thought it would be great to see someone grow it in Texas because the area and humidity and weather in the part of Australia that he's in is very comparable to Texas, except for when we have our cold snaps. And this is my third attempt at growing loofah. The first two both died because I got different cold snaps, and it basically just killed off the plant. So this has been phenomenal with the amount of sun that we had during summer. I was able to keep it watered, and then we had that glorious, wonderful rain that hit for a couple of weeks. That was fantastic, and the amount of rain, I think, just got these plants to just burst, full of vitality and energy and chlorophyll, and just sent it all to the way of the plants. So you've seen various clips of the loofah that I had with the flowers, and just this morning I was out there working on hop-henge, and the flowers really open up wide and move with the sun, and then after a couple hours they close again. It's very interesting to watch. And then hop-henge, like I said, bit off way more than I could or should chew. Let me fix my glasses here before I get word from my mother. So far, I have 385 bags that I've put out there. Each bag varies. I had some terracotta colors, some red, some black. Large percentage of it was just regular concrete gray. And each bag had to be filled by yours truly, using bags of concrete and mixing it in a cement mixing bowl. I don't know. It looks like a little pool. Could be a pool for small dogs if I wanted to use it that way. And I'm not sure on total amount of concrete. I'm gonna have to look it up and see how much concrete I actually will wind up using at the end. I didn't want to do a cement mixer as somebody suggested because I just can't get that much done to warrant using a cement mixer. Because the cement mixer you can have 10, 12, 20 bags. I mean, just depending on the size of the mixer, right? I just can't get to that many bags at one time. So I've been doing, when I started, I was doing 2 bags a day on the weekend, and let my back strengthen. And so now I can do like 3 to 6 or 4 to 8 bags a weekend, depending on time. I got it down to doing it. A bag takes me about 20 minutes to fill up the baggies. Now the baggies, each bag of concrete is about 12 to 15 of those baggies that you saw there. Now the so well the whole thing of what you're supposed to do is you fill up a baggie, you twirl it so that it's tight, get the air out as much as possible, upend it, and then kind of flatten it out so that it becomes a step. Um, Now, I'm not I was telling someone this morning, I'm not talking about doing a dance under the moonlight around the trunk or anything, but I'd like to be able to walk on it. Maybe not walk on the snake-like sections, maybe so, but I think they're going to hold up well. Now, what you're supposed to do, according to what I found on Pinterest, is after you get these stepping stones done with the plastic bags, which are made of like a cellulose material, I found out, then you burn them off. And so then what's left is just the concrete. So I'm really hoping it looks good. It's probably it's probably not going to be as good as I'm hoping, but we'll see what happens. So there's that. I'll keep you up to date. I was trying to get it done before the pumpkin beer tasting next weekend. I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to get a lot of it done, but not all of it. So it'll be a couple of weeks longer after that because I have another weekend that's all tied up, and then maybe a couple of days where I might be able to work, and then like the whole month of October is just really taken up. So anyway, that's the Hove and the Loofah project. The other garden beds don't really have anything growing on it right now. I need to plant probably during the week when I get home from work. If I have time, if I'm not working on the Hove, I will work on that. Anyway, let's move on now to our Zen moment. Well, one of the routes that I was out walking, I went by an open field. I don't even know if it was like a settling retaining pond or something like that, kind of like the Hatch Pond is right over here by me off of Hatch Road. I'm not sure. But I saw this gentleman out there with his son, and they were doing something that it's been a long time that I have not done myself in an extremely long time, and I didn't really think a lot of people did it anymore. So I thought it was very interesting. So I'm going to put it to some music, and maybe we'll have something from Jay Anderson. So here we go with our Zen moment. Flying high, flying free. Look at all that I can see. The ground below, the sky above. Thinking of all the ones I love. Fly higher, fly freer. Why not fly with me? Come along and see all that was meant to be as we fly high and fly free. Hey everybody, so that was the latest from Jay Anderson and flying a kite. I have not seen that. I know there's a kite festival and everything, but that has become commercialized like everything else does eventually in the long run. Don't get me started, we'll have another bottom line here. Eventually I'll get to that. But it was just a man and his son out there flying this kite. And it's a pretty big size kite, so I had to zoom in at the end there in order to, have it poised against the sky, however you want to say it, or whichever word is correct. Let's put it that way, to really show off the kite. We just happened to be on it. This was on Dagama, so I had just come off of El Salito. Turned, which Dagama is the street between the park and the school, and went further back. So it may have been the school one of the school fields or something like that. I came across this street and this field a couple of weeks ago when in my excursions that I've been doing as I'm picking up trash. So I thought it was really neat, and I thought it would bring back memories for everyone. It did for me, as we used to go to Horace Mann Middle School. I think it was a middle school right there on Huisach, and every now and then we would go and fly a kite when we had one. We also used to go to Jefferson High School off of Mary Louise and Donaldson and do that there too. So there's a throwback to some old streets for those of you who may remember them. Okay, so we're going to get in with Brother Rob, and I'm going to start posting these beers reviews, and hopefully I can squeeze them all in on this episode. So here we went out to Celis Brewery and Austin Beer Works, and here's our reviews of the beers we had left from last week. Okay, back at it. So I'm going for a dark lager called As Big As Mine, and it is right here, As Big As Mine. So let's see what we get. So like a 5.1, by the way. The other one was 4.9, 5.1. I like it. I'm gonna give this one a 7. I'm gonna give this one a 7. Brother Rob makes. Had a very good aroma, good finish. The only downside for me was that it was low in ABV.
It's okay. I'll give it a 5.
Oh, a 5. Harsh mistress there. All right, there you go. As Big As Mine.
I know. But
Up, go for it. What do you got?
this is a Belgian triple.
Belgian triple. So this is like 9%, I think.
8.6. I like
Looks
Belgian.
like Brother Rob is lagging it.
I like Belgians. They have certain funk to them.
So how many thumbs are you giving it?
Oh, I'll give that one a good 7.5.
7.5. He's going to the half, so that means we're already into it now. Let me think. It's definitely the taste of a triple. I don't know if it's a triple. Let's put it that way. I think I'm gonna give this one a 6. Yeah, I'm not as thrilled about it as Brother Rob is. So a 6. There we go. Okay, so still at Celis Brewery. Here's the next round. Let's go with Brother Rob.
Oh, this is the Juicy IPA.
Juicy. It's juicy. A 4. Wow, brutal. Is he brutal or is he being accurate? Let's find out. I wouldn't call it juicy. I'm gonna go with a 4 also on that, so that's 4. Okay, so still at Celis, round number 3 for both of us. This is the Oktoberfest. So this, I don't know what the ABV on it is. They don't have it on the list on the screen, but he recommended it. So let's see what we get. This almost tastes like grape knee-high. I'm gonna give this to Brother Rob, but I'm gonna give it a 3.
Great meat.
Taste it.
Now that you put that in my head, you said no, 3.
Yeah, that's a 3, people. Okay, last round at the Celis. We're probably gonna find somewhere else. This is paddle. What is it called? Paddle? Without a paddle? Without a paddle. Without a paddle. It's 9% ABV. Don't worry, Ma. We have small amounts. Look, they're small. See? That looks big. That looks small. So we're all good. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm trying to see why I'm not getting the light. There we go. It's not impressive. I'm gonna give this a 4. Brother Rob also got without. So let's see what he's doing.
Yeah,
4. Look, instant 4. Instant 4. So that's our time at Celis. So we're out here at Austin Beer Works. We decided to move on because Brother Rob was actually really hungry, and Celis didn't really have any food that we thought would be good. So we moved on to Austin Beer Works. I'm looking at a Eastern Philosophy, and it's 7.5 ABV. And Brother Rob has the Laxa Halical, which is a double IPA, 7.8 on that one. So we'll see what we think here in a minute when he gets back from his food. All right, Brother Rob is back, so let me try my Eastern Philosophy first, and then I'll hand it over to Brother Rob. He doesn't even want to try it. You don't even want to try it?
It's not good.
Oh, he's tried it and he said it's no good. So now I'm screwed. I'm gonna give this a 5. It's not great, but it's okay. We'll come back in a minute for the Laxa Halical for Brother Rob. All right, this is Brother Rob's Laxa Halical.
Done with it already.
He drank most of it, but so what is it?
What the fuck am I drinking?
Oh, it's a double IPA.
And a Laxa Hazical.
Laxa Hazical. Oh, that's a Z. I was saying Halical. Hazical. 7.9. Here we go.
Give it an 8. Solid 8.
You give it an 8. All right. I gotta try it now. Oh wow, I was too close to the camera. Sorry about that, people. I unfortunately have to call my brother a liar.
No.
Because I'm gonna give that one a 6.
What?
So yeah, not what I was expecting at all. So that's it for Austin Beer. Well, we might have 1 or 2 more Austin Beer Works, but Laxa Hazical 8, 6. Okay, so still out at Austin Beer Works. Last round, I promise, last round. This is the Coffin Nail Stout. 4.7 ABV. It tastes like the coals at the bottom of your barbecue pit at the end of a good grill.
In a good way?
In kind of good way. I'm gonna actually give this a 3. It was recommended by the young lady up front, but I'm gonna give it a 3. It's ashy. It tastes charcoaly. Let's give it to Brett.
Come on, the girl highly recommended it.
She highly recommended it. Yes, she did.
Smells like coffee.
Smells like coffee, which yes, it fooled me on that too. Charcoal regrets, right?
It's like a fine line between charcoal and coffee. This tastes like a porter to me.
This one?
Because it's not as much flavor as like a typical stout that I drink.
Okay, so out of 10, what are you going to give?
6.5.
Wow. He's lying. He's lying. He said 3. 3 and a 6.5. Alright. We'll come back to the last one after this. Okay, so there we are. Let me see if I can fix the glasses again. There we are. I was a liar on that last one. That was our last beer. We decided that after we had that one, it was time to just head on home. So we headed on home after that. So that was mine and Brother Rob's beer review of Celis Brewery and Whitestone Brewery. I'm sorry, not Whitestone. Celis Brewery and Austin Beer Works. I apologize to Austin Beer Works. Austin Beer Works. So, very interesting. Which, by the way, hat day today because I am, for the first time in, I know this is a tangent, but the first time in almost 3 years, I will be getting my hair cut by a professional and not myself with a pair of clippers. Because I will be standing in the wedding in 2 weeks. So my hair is beginning to look worse than it did in the video, and so hence I'm wearing the hat. Anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the Celis and the Austin Beer Works. We'll probably be hitting some more breweries maybe towards the end of this year, if not for sure next year. And for those of you who have been looking forward to it, pumpkin beer tasting next weekend. For those of you who have been invited, you're going to be astounded by the sheer number of beers that we have available. There will be plenty of food, and so everybody will be safe before they leave. So I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Javier in the Air. For those of you, if this was your first one, I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. I'm always looking forward. I'm always looking for feedback on what I did wrong, on what I did right, what I need to change, if I need to keep something the same. And if you have a mom and pop business anywhere in the country, I will certainly be happy to interview you and talk a little bit about your business and promote you on here. No news is bad news as far as advertising goes. No advertising is bad advertising. And so you could be on here even though I don't have a large audience, but it's growing. So I definitely would love to do that. If you have something of interest and you want to bring it on the show, except for, of course, the two politics and religion, then I'll get you on the show as well. I will be talking about the Be the Light Craft Fair in November. And I'll have Crazy Stacy on here as well. So if you have any crafts that you're going to be at the fair and you'd like to get on the show, by all means, let me know. And if you'd like to be a co-host for a day, I'm always looking for a co-host for a day. We can certainly get that as well. Just let me know. But you don't even have to be here in my studio in order to do it. So, okay, so we're marching into October. This is October 2nd. I have a large number of family members that have birthdays in the month of October, and so I will be giving them shout outs when I do the podcast. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, good start to your week, and I will see y'all again next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.